What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on EA Entertainment Studios. Today we're going to do another deep analysis on Godzilla Minus One. So today we're going to focus on Godzilla's regenerative ability and how that actually plays a big role in the plot of the Japanese people. I've said this in the past and I'll say it again. Many of the small details surrounding Godzilla have to do something with the Japanese people. And this plays very beautifully in just the basic metaphor of Godzilla, who is literally an image of the atomic bomb, and how he represents human greed and human power through war, right? Now, to be specific, let's go to the specific point here. Godzilla's regenerative ability, when we see him in the ocean attacking the boats, when they essentially shoot at him the mine and they blow it up in his mouth, a good chunk of his face blows off, but his skin grows back through regenerative abilities. And the question is, how does this apply metaphorically, if we could even say, to the plot? Well, constantly we're reminded of the incidents of Japan and how they literally just survived World War II. They got hit by an atomic bomb, and they have basically rebuilt, and yet again they're facing something potentially even worse, right? The bomb came, it did its havoc, and now they have to rebuild, but this thing is alive. It breathes, it walks, and it thinks, and it destroys everything in its path. The government is out of question, right? They can't help. So where does this thematic metaphor play? Well, it's the Japanese citizens, not the government, but the citizens. This is where the metaphor plays, where they have to get together in essentially a meeting room and decide to put their lives on the line once again. Now, I don't want to get scientific, but it makes sense, right? When something like your skin gets ripped or there's penetration in your skin, your white blood cells have to come together to regenerate that part of flesh. Well, it's the exact same thing. It's called teamwork. And Godzilla's regenerative ability, in greater light of context, represents the Japanese citizens, that they come as a team and they care about their own future and the future for their kids. We see that beautifully with the main character and the little girl that he inherits by faith, right? And these characters get together and they actually care and they fight off and defeat Godzilla. I won't say kill because he doesn't actually die, but they do defeat Godzilla. And that's also to represent that troubles will also come, right? The regenerative ability has two aspects to this. Trouble will always be there in different forms, and sometimes it's gonna return, and Godzilla will return. But because Japan, and specifically its citizens, can regenerate their losses, they can always defeat the threat. Not because they're smart, not because they're better than other people, but because they have teamwork. And that's the connection that I made with essentially the regenerative ability of Godzilla in greater context, right? Of course, basic plot, Godzilla regenerates, but there's always a deeper meaning. And there are some other things too, which I'll do different videos on, like the atomic breath and some other stuff. But specifically, the regenerative ability is a metaphor for Japanese people uniting together, putting their lives on the line to rebuild something they believe in. And to also show that even oncoming threats that are going to come and come and come again, they will rebuild, because regeneration means rebuilding. That's the connection I made. Give me your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.